We come to you from Foothill College in Los Altos Hills, California. A fresh shipment of Bo bobbleheads have recently arrived, and tonight the San Jose Spiders kick off a 3-game homestand at Foothill Stadium. The actual Bo Kittredge is ready to lead the Spiders against the visiting Vancouver Riptide. It's a battle for first place in the West Division in this week's AUDL Showcase on ESPN3. We close out the month of May in Los Altos Hills, the Spiders and the Riptide. Their second meeting of the season. When these two teams first met, more goals were scored than any other AUDL game ever. Hi, everybody. Evan Lepler alongside Chuck Kindred. So great to have you with us, Chuck. These two teams are more closely matched than you might expect. The conversation in the West has been about San Francisco and San Jose, but there's this other team, the Vancouver Riptide, that's only a game out of first place, and if they shock the Bay Area this weekend, the entire narrative changes.
You're right, and they were able to score early and often against San Jose in their first game. Also, a lot of these guys are not well-known. They're not top well-known scouted players, so there's a lot of surprises that can happen when you're trying to prepare for a team like Vancouver who's got a lot of young talent, a lot of talent that's played together, developed, grown up together, and may have chemistry that really hasn't been charted out by these coaches.
And then there's this San Jose team without Kurt Gibson, without Mark Elbogan, some other key guys not here today for the Spiders. And oh yeah, they lost their last game. This is a team that hasn't won for a while. How do they get back on the horse?
Well, I think these guys are used to winning. They don't like to leave a loss on the board. I think they're not going to need a whole lot of motivation. Some of these guys, however, are in the middle of tryouts and had a big tryout earlier today. It'll be interesting to see if they can come out with a lot of pep in their step or if they're going to be, kind of hitting the vitamin I bottle and just trying to make it work for another couple hours.
The opening pull coming up here from Foothill Stadium. Bo Kittredge, Ashlyn Joy, they're here, but Kurt Gibson, he's not here, and San Jose missing a bunch of key guys. On the other hand, Vancouver's got a tough weekend at San Francisco at 1 o'clock tomorrow. They've traveled with their entire team, so they've got reinforcements for tomorrow. They've got big sidelines. It should be an interesting battle.
They did. They traveled really well. I think only one player didn't make it down. They did drive down to Seattle and fly out of Seattle, so it's a lot of travel, late night probably getting in, not a lot of sleep, but these guys are fired up, and I know a lot of them are just very excited to be on the stage with these two teams this weekend.
Well, I'm thrilled to be on the stage with you, as always. The AUDL on ESPN3. Our coverage continues as we get ready for the opening pull here from Foothill Stadium. And in this West Division, things are so tight at the top. Seattle and Salt Lake City have faded from the conversation, but at the apex of the division, you have San Francisco and San Jose, a duel that got closer with what happened 2 weeks ago. And then, of course, this Vancouver Riptide team that we'll learn a lot more about over the next few weeks. 4 of the next 5 games for Vancouver will come against that top duo. So today and tomorrow, and then later on in June, they'll meet San Fran and San Jose once again. If the season were to end right now, the playoff game, the 2 seed would be at the 1 seed, and because of point differential, it would be here in San Jose. So the point differential adds an interesting wrinkle. San Jose and San Fran, they meet 2 more times. 1 more time here. That's next Saturday night on ESPN3. And then they meet again in San Francisco in early July. Point differential could be an interesting, wrinkle into this race.
You're right. It's not something you think about. You figure we won 1, they won 1. It's a tie. Not really. Point differential does come down into play here. I've got San Francisco slowly trending and getting better throughout the season. I think it'll be hard for San Jose to hold them off.
Starting lineups being introduced here at Foothill Stadium. Nathan White charging onto the field. Number 6 in black. The Spiders are 6-1. Only lost again last week, 2 weeks ago in their last game by just a 1 point. And that was just a crazy game. I mean, you and I were both there at San Francisco. up 8-3 in the first half. San Jose let that lead slip away, and San Francisco took advantage.
Yeah, they looked so good early in that game. I thought San Jose was going to run away with it, but San Francisco hung tough, and that home crowd really carried them through. It was a nice rally by San Francisco.
Well, you got to call a couple great games in the Midwest last week. I got to see some of the best college ultimate in the country, and now here we are back in the Bay Area, one of the nation's hotbeds for ultimate. The Spiders pulling in black to the Vancouver Riptide, and you're going to learn about some guys today that you're going to need to remember these names, because especially on the offensive line, their offensive line captain Ryan Lee, this lefty handler with the disc, back to Kevin Lohr, another offensive line handler, and there's Derek Fenton, who leads the league in assists, not just the West Division, but he's got 30 assists on the season, more than anybody else in the circuit. He also has scored goals in the top 10 in that category too.
That's really incredible. That's a lot of production out of one player.
There's a big target, number 85. The player coach of the Riptide is a guy who played for the Australian national team in Cali, Colombia. Here's a deep shot looking for Fenton, and he comes down with it. This is how he gets so many of his assists. Deep shots to the precipice of the end zone. And this time it'll be a hockey assist for Fenton as the player coach, Tim Levis, drops the dime to the end zone, and Vancouver strikes first on the O point, 54 seconds in.
Yeah, nice deep catch there. It looks like it got caught up in the sun, perhaps. But in any event, nice play by Fenton. And, a great pickup for Vancouver to get Tim Levis. He's an Australian vet, played on the national team, played for the Dingoes and the Doughboys, some of those really fun, really competitive teams out of Australia. And he had, I think, the disc on his hand at Worlds a couple years ago to beat Team USA. Almost hauled it in to beat him in pool play. That would have been their only loss.
Fenton going up over Eli Kearns, and then calmly taking care of business around the end zone. Vancouver's only lost twice. They've taken care of business against the Seattles and the Salt Lake Cities. And Tim Levis told me before the game that the key for us is just to be consistent for 4 quarters. He's joked that they're consistent most of the time, which doesn't suggest that they're as consistent as much as they want to be.
That's a nice way to say it. Consistent most of the time. I'll have to remember that.
This is Ashlyn Joy, one of the primary handlers, looking deep for Kittredge. And Bo Kittredge ties things up 1-1.
Talked to Bo before the game. He said he wanted to get on the board tonight, do something exciting. You can see he was setting up for that deep cut. Charged in 3 times with that jab step and then released deep, and Ashlyn was all too happy to deliver.
Well, you mentioned the practice that the Revolver guys had this morning, about a 4-hour practice. Ashlyn Joy told me he hadn't done much the past couple of weeks. He's nursing a hamstring. Bo Kittredge wasn't his normal off-the-chart self. He was still very good, but last game against San Fran, he was not the all-encompassing dominant beast that we've come to know.
No, definitely not. His size is a little bit minimized by that wind. The wind was so swirly that it's hard to really use your height and get up early on those discs.
Well, we're right on pace for about 72 goals, 2 in a minute and 20 seconds. They average basically a goal every 40 seconds when these two teams met earlier this season, back in early May. 39-32 was the final, and the aggregate of 71, the most goals ever scored in an AUDL game. After watching USAU College, I got to get used to these 45-yard swings again. It feels just so much wider.
A little bit different out here for sure.
Back into the hands of Richie Tam. And this is Fenton. Scoobers through the double team. Creeping toward midfield, the Riptide in the white. Einar Lim double teamed on the sideline and floats it back to space to Lee, the lethal lefty who handles for the Riptide. And a big layout in the far sideline to keep possession alive. That was Edward Guo, a big part of the offense. Inbounds, Tim Gilligan defending. It's kind of funny how this Vancouver team was put together. Not to say it was a last-minute adventure as the Riptide punch it in for the score. But, you know, the head coach, Tim Levis, he was not signed on when the Riptide had their first tryout. Derek Fenton, who's leading the team in goals and assists, he had not yet signed on when they had the first tryout. So it was sort of a melding process. You know, this team played a couple road games early in the season. They went to Salt Lake, and it was a chance for them to bond and really come together. And I think they have the opportunity to surprise these Bay Area teams.
I think you're really right. There's a great juniors scene in Vancouver. A lot of young players coming up, learning how to do things the right way. And there's great older players like Mike Grant, Jeff Cruikshank, Andrew Lugsden, some of these guys that were just iconic Ultimate players from Vancouver. And those guys are there to help coach and help these guys learn how to do things the right way.
2-1 on serve as Ryan Lee picks up the assist. Here's Joy, shoots one far for Marcelo Sanchez. The revolver teammate took up, still 5 yards out. Sanchez with a stall count rising, dumps to Kittredge. And Bo connects with Stephen Chang, and we're tied at 2.
Well, it's fun to see Ashland open it up and just taking some deep shots. He is not shy when he sees guys with a step that he knows. Guys like Marcelo Sanchez, who had that insane catch falling backwards in San Francisco. When he's got a step, I think most people would throw. You can see here Bo, kind of an awkward-looking thrower, but so effective, sets up the mark, rocks him to the left, and then comes back around for the forehand of the open side. Nice play by Bo.
Forgot to ask him about it, but I imagine he's a happy Mama Bird alum after what happened this past Monday in Cincinnati.
What a run. That was really something special, and they really weren't even challenged in the semis and finals.
They were challenged by Harvard and Wisconsin in pool play, and they were beaten by UC Davis in a pool play game that was relatively meaningless. But Colorado Mama Bird winning its second national title, its first since Bo was, I think, a sophomore in 2004.
Back with the cornrows, I think.
On that team with Josh Ackley winning the Callahan.
Right. That was a heck of a team.
On serve, 2-all. This is Levis. The Australian sends one deep. Perfectly done for Darren Wu. This kid, Darren Wu, 18 years old, and he's one of the top targets downfield in the league.
Yeah, it's fun to have athletes like that coming up that are so young. This guy's going to get better for another 6 straight seasons. He'll be getting better, adding skills, not losing athleticism. And watch here how Levis leans down. Really, this is kind of the upwind direction, so he really got a lot of inside out on that flick so that it would hang up for him. Levis is a real pro. He's got great touch. We've already seen him throw a couple nice touch passes to the end zone.
For a second, it looked like that might be too much, but Darren Wu showed his wheels. And the pull sails about as far out of bounds as I've seen a pull in the AUDL. About halfway up the far side bleachers.
And the not a puller chants are coming from the crowd here. That looked like one of my tee shots. Not great. Not great off the tee.
You're more of a fairway to green type guy, right?
I don't know what I am. I'm trying to find out. It's got to be something I'm good at.
Well, here's Ashland Joy picking up, wearing number 27.
So a junk D here, or I guess they're just kind of sagging the lane up front here.
Kittredge, about 25 yards downfield, has the catch. And a great layout D from Vancouver. Mads Gottlieb, the 6'7" behemoth of a defender, makes the play. And Vancouver again, showing the athleticism as the Riptide seek the first break. Taking the shot. Kittredge cleans it up for San Jose.
He almost let that one get through. But nice pursuit there by Bo. He closed quickly. And another shot deep to Simon Higgins.
2 defenders nearby, and it's D'd up by Vancouver's Francisco Mogolon. They call him Pacho.
Wow, Simon Higgins, really one of the favorite targets of these San Jose Spiders handlers, and usually comes down with it. We just saw him get layout blocked and then D'd in the air. So Vancouver's making a statement right now. They're saying, we're not intimidated by you, we're fresh, and if you're just going to throw some stuff up in the air, get ready to get D'd.
Well done by Mogolon. Hails from Bogota, Colombia. That one was thrown behind Gottlieb. Intercepted by Kittredge, who's leading the AUDL in Ds. Has 2 on this point. Ashlyn Joy directing traffic. Little give and go. Joy picks up the assist, connecting with Kevin Aja. And San Jose holds serve. Aja making just his 2nd appearance of the season. They're missing some guys, but they also have gotten a guy like Aja back on the field.
Yeah, good to see him back out. He really was in flow on this point. Nice little setup here from Bo with the inside look to Ashlyn, and he immediately gets that continue off. You know, if you don't let the mark set, then you don't have to break the mark, and that's something that Ashlyn knows very well.
Kevin Aja, the Callahan nominee at University of Virginia in 2008. Now works at Stanford in sports marketing. By the way, you've spent a lot of time in the Bay Area, so this is not news to you, but I got to go walk around Stanford University for the first time yesterday, and oh my goodness, that place is heaven on earth, man.
They call it the bubble. They also call it the farm. But if you're going to go there for a visit, pack your golf clubs. It is pretty pristine, plenty of white-collar activities to be doing at Stanford.
It is just beautiful.
It really is.
Here's a deep shot. Fenton looking to the end zone. Did he put too much on it? No, he didn't. Right on the money. And Vancouver so far going toe-to-toe with San Jose.
That's a really nice angle by Fenton to step inside, release it hip high, but keep it IO. Most guys, when they're trying to get that left to right slant on the disc, they release it really low. And when you move it up, it makes it a lot harder to get your throw to stay in line. But Fenton made that look very easy.
Edward Guo.
Kids, go check
Ball's
out the
in the score.
Superman.
One of the youngsters on Vancouver. Guo just 20. You know, he's been so important. William Vu is 19. He's been a key offensive line cutter. And then their team's leader in goals is Darren Wu, and he's just 18 years old, products of that Vancouver youth scene. So we are on serve. No breaks yet as we near the midway point of the first quarter. This is very similar to the way the game transpired between these two up in Barnaby on May 10th. So Vancouver forces the turn and Vu picks up. To Levis, to the end zone, just shy of the end zone for Gottlieb. And Vancouver has broken San Jose midway through the first, 5-3.
Some flat-footed D there from Bo. You could see he was kind of lagging off on the mark, trying to take away the angle. Levis sets him up with the around fake.
Lightspeed Venture Partners
and hits the IO lane.
Sponsor of your San Jose Spiders.
I think Vancouver wants this more, especially early on. We'll see if the Spiders have another gear here. But sloppy resets and not very good marks here. You can see Bo just kind of jogs over, leaves that lane wide open, falls back. Bo may not be feeling his best. We're not sure. I know he's nursing that hamstring injury. And for those who didn't know, I think he was in the 400-meter trials for the Olympics and had a hamstring problem then. It's been something he's struggled with throughout his career.
One of the reasons he started playing Ultimate in Colorado is because they wouldn't let him on the track team. He said, bring your best guy out, let me race him, and the track coaches at Colorado Boulder would not have it.
Interesting.
So the Riptide leading by 2. Joy with a bullet flick to Tyler Bacon. Joy winds up seeking Kittredge. He's got the height advantage over Josh Tam, and Tam gets the defense. Wow. Josh Tam at 5'10", just made a play he'll be talking about for the rest of his life.
And he should. He really, I'm not sure why Bo waited so long to go up.
Oh, an unbelievable layout D by Stephen Chang. Horizontal, unbelievable.
Yeah, really great. Extends out, gets that full extension layout, lands flat on your chest. Really great form.
Kittredge sends one deep. And Sanchez brings it in. San Jose creeps back within one.
Who expected Vancouver to come out and get an early lead?
I think they did. I really do. I'm talking to Derek Fenton, talking to Tim Levis this week. That was an unbelievable D by Stephen Chang. And this is a solid flick huck, a throw that he did not have 10 years ago. But he has worked to develop them, and in the championship game of Club Nationals this year, Revolver beat Sockeye with Kittredge collecting, I think, 6 assists in the championship game.
Yeah, Bo, one thing I'll say for Bo and his throws, he understands what the wind does to the disc, and he's one of the best downwind touch throwers I've ever seen. He can really drop it in over the defense.
And it's high praise coming from a guy who's handled on some championship teams as well, Chuck Kindred.
What championship are we talking about?
Didn't you win a mixed in 2005?
No, that would have been nice, though. I won Sandblast. That must be what you're talking about.
Oh, okay. Here's Guo back to Lohr, and now to Lee. Defended by Jeff Silverman. Good matchup between Fenton and Nathan White. They both have size, they both have speed. Fenton was looking for the deep cut, but no handler could see him. In this game, this point qualifies as the slow down stall offense.
Yeah, this is turning into a pitcher's duel. Nice deep shot here. Fenton with space hauls it in.
Hammer to the end zone. Darren Wu brings it down, and Vancouver holds serve.
Yeah, for those who don't know, a hammer, it's an upside down pass. You grip it like a forehand, release it over your head, and it kind of curves over, flattens out as it flies. That was really well done by him. The advantage of throwing a hammer is that it goes up and comes down quickly, gives the defense no chance to adjust, as you can see there.
The disadvantage to throwing the hammer is what?
Is you better hit it on the head. To use a hammer metaphor, hit it on the head. If you miss, you miss. It's like throwing a football. It's just going to come right down. So if you overthrow your guy, it's incomplete. There's no room for error.
And in the wind, the hammer can be at Mother Nature's mercy.
Certainly.
4 minutes to go in quarter number 1 here at Foothill Stadium in Los Altos Hills. Thanks so much for joining us tonight on ESPN3. Here's Ashlyn Joy. He was looking for number 55, Tyler Bacon. Before you look directly at either Joy or Bacon's cleats, you want to put on sunglasses or something. Here's a deep shot into the end zone, and San Jose finds Aja once again, his second score.
Real pretty pass to the end zone there. Again, a downwind flick with nice touch on it. San Jose's hitting that shot to the forehand side pretty well.
On the score for San Jose, number 4, Simon Higgins, to number 11, Kevin Brooklyn Aja.
Higgins picks up the assist. Simon Higgins was not with San Jose a couple weeks ago. One of the bunch of guys who attended the wedding of Kevin Cox, fellow Spiders teammate. Well, Gilligan will pull on the D-line here. Natali, Silverman, and others out there defending, and this rolls out of bounds.
Yeah, fun to watch Natali mark. You can see he moves his hands up and down depending on the wind, makes the thrower not necessarily going to try to get a point block, but he makes you throw to the space you don't want to throw to. Makes you throw under or over his hands depending on where the wind is.
And that's really the key for the mark. You can't stop everything, but you're just trying to take away their first option.
That's right, and a lot of guys don't adjust for upwind and downwind. Natali's one of the guys very well very aware of the wind and how it affects the flight, the path of the disc.
A nice scuba from Darren Wu, escaping the double team. One of the things I've noticed is after a double team gets broken, it's sometimes tough for the defense to recover.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, you load up front, and these guys are hitting you over the tops, which really exposes your defense. There's not a lot of wind here, so these over the tops are available.
I think less wind than both teams expected. And that's finally tuned offense to Derek Fenton for his first goal.
Yeah, if I were the Riptide, I would keep looking to reverse the field the way they're doing now. San Jose looks tired. I think the sun has been beating down on these guys all day. They're wearing the black jerseys, just soaking up the heat. And when the disc swings all the way around, I don't see the defense doing the 40, 45-yard sprint to close out. These guys are just open.
Derek Fenton has been a soccer player since he was about 4 or 5 years old and started playing Ultimate really as just sort of a casual thing in the Vancouver leagues. Obviously a great athlete, played in the North Shore Ultimate League, and then it was when Worlds came to Vancouver in 2008 where Derek Fenton sort of said, this is my sport. And at that point he committed himself, and 6 years later he's one of the best players in the AUDL.
That was a really exciting year for Canadian Ultimate too. They won Worlds, kind of did a fusion team between Vancouver's Furious George and Toronto's GOAT, and they were just incredible to watch.
Higgins swings for joy. Crossfield to a couple spiders handled by Scott Roeder. And now Kittredge flings it to the end zone once again for Marcelo Sanchez.
Marcelo Sanchez really hungry for the disc. You can see he's setting up those cuts, timing them great. And when he releases deep, guys like Bo and guys like Ashton are really looking for him. Again, we see Bo hitting that downwind flick. Really got that dialed in. Makes it very catchable.
What's the key to the angle of the disc here on this downwind flick?
So the wind's a little bit at his back. You can see how he releases it high, almost shoulder level. You got to keep it flat, and if you can get the lip up, kind of bending up away from you, then it softens it, it sinks down, it hangs up for you. The danger of throwing these high throws downwind is that the wind is kind of pushing it down. So you've got to find a way to soften it up, and Bo's really got it.
Closing in on 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. San Jose down by 1. Nate Boscher with a pull. That barely stays inbounds. 15 yards in front of the Vancouver end zone. Wu wide open in the middle of the field. And looking for a deep shot for Sun. Ryan Sun hauls it in over the outstretched reach of Michael Keogh.
Yeah, nice pursuit there by Mike Keogh. He was all over it, couldn't quite close enough. Those shoulder high bids going away are tough, but he's one of the ones that's really good at it. I really like the flow from Vancouver, though. I got to say, they're not hesitating at all. They're looking for these little inside resets, little mini breaks that set up the deep shot, and they're just playing courageously. They're just going out and winning the disc. That's all you got to do out here. By the way, I took a ribbing last time for calling Mike Keogh. I guess it's Keogh, so our apologies to the Keogh family.
Number 17,
Vancouver by 2 as Max Hunter unleashes the backhand pull. Good 70 yards on that pull to get this point started.
Bo's looking deep. Wow, nice physical catch.
Not sure why there wasn't a whistle. Higgins got drilled.
It's hard to say, yeah.
Held on to the disc, though. And now forward for Bacon. Dumps back to Joy. There was a foul, but the referee let the play on continue.
Referee's got to call that. That's 2 times in a row just putting a shoulder on the receiver. Same matchup.
Underneath for Aha. To the end zone for Kittredge. They connect.
Wow, great touch from Aha. That was really pretty. It's been interesting seeing some of these guys adjust to playing with referees. You know, when we watched Chicago play Madison in the first game of last week, and we saw a lot of intentional initiation of contact, guys lunging forward with the disc to draw a foul. And it begs the question, well, if the referee's calling the foul, why wouldn't I continue to do it? And just like in this play, if I can put a shoulder on the guy and intimidate him from cutting against me, make him think about the pitter-patter of my footsteps when he's trying to catch, why wouldn't I keep doing it if they're not going to call it? And that's something that, some of these guys have never really thought about. You see right there, pretty hard hit.
Yeah, that was Jasper Liu just throwing the body into the back and back-to-back plays.
Yeah, I'm surprised Higgins handled as well as he did. That was
San Jose, number 99,
definitely didn't feel good.
Gilligan.
Higgins is used to playing a brand of physical ultimate. Here's Lavis in the middle of the field. Fenton was defended really nicely there.
Love these scoobers over the top against the double team. I mean, what are you going to do? You got a guy who's 6'5" and up throwing over the tops.
Fenton looking for Lavis. Incomplete. That's a drop for the player coach from Vancouver. So they're under a minute to go in the half. The scoreboard shows 40 seconds. And the clock stops as San Jose takes a timeout. 39.5 on the stadium clock. San Jose uses its first timeout and has an opportunity to break back here. That could turn out to be a huge drop by Lavis. 8-7, San Jose in front. First quarter will conclude after this.
San Jose Spiders.
Vancouver in front.
Lightspeed is a leading venture capital firm based here in Silicon Valley and has backed startups like Nest, Grubhub, Kickside.
He's coming down the ice. He's coming around the net. Centering pass. Oh, look at this. A break for Canada. He shoots. He scores! Canada wins in overtime! Canada back on top of the world!
So it's Vancouver up by 1. The Riptide have the only break this far, but an opportunity to reestablish the 2-point edge dropped by Tim Lavis. And now with 43 seconds on the clock, they added a few ticks. Ashlyn Joy will pick up the disc. Higgins and Kittredge are his primary middle cutters. Nathan White certainly a deep threat as well at 6'5".
Yeah, and Vancouver playing behind all 4 horizontal stack members of San Jose. Let's see if they're going to switch, if they're going to shift. They're basically conceding the under right now.
Right now, Fenton is on Kittredge. And 6'7", Gottlieb chasing Simon Higgins. Nathan White on the horizontal cut. Air bounce backhand connects with Gilligan. 25 seconds for San Jose. Kittredge shoots it deep for Gilligan. Will Vu helps out defensively, and the Spiders turn it over. Now, Vancouver with 15 seconds. Through the double team. Looking deep. Kittredge over the top, but into the hands of Gottlieb. Into the end zone, this would count. Fenton is there. You gotta be kidding me. Vancouver scores in the final seconds of the quarter. Kittredge thought he had the D, and the Riptide lead 9-7 after 1.
What a great heads-up play to catch the deflection in stride, turn, and throw a nice, soft air bounce back into the end zone. Let's take another look at this. So this is kind of the right play. You got a guy open deep. You got to air it out. Give yourself a chance. Now watch Bo come in and just clear this all the way out. And what a heads-up play there. To not only get the D, but get the disc in the air and catchable in the end zone with time expiring. That's really incredible.
When this disc went up. I wasn't sure Vancouver would have enough time left, even if they made this catch, to get to the end zone. But incredible awareness from Mads Gottlieb, the Great Dane. And he flips it to Fenton as time expires. Vancouver by 2 after 1 here in San Jose. 1 down, 3 to go. Vancouver bidding for the big upset.
Yeah, it's a Zipcar. I don't own it, I just use it when I need it. Zipcar has thousands of cars parked all over the city, even 2 on my block. You can use one for an hour or for a day. And Zipcar pays for gas and insurance. It's easy.
Go to zipcar.com to get your Zip Card, the key to vehicles parked in your neighborhood and across the globe. For work or play, find a Zipcar near you, book it,
And before you know it, you're on the road.
cars by the hour or day, gas and insurance included.
Join for as little as $6 per month at zipcar.com.
A great finish to that quarter of action, 9-7 Vancouver with the lead. Evan Lepler and Chuck Kindred. It's an interesting matchup today. Tim Levis, the player coach for Vancouver, he was on Team Australia that won silver at the World Games in Colombia last August. Of course, Ashlyn Joy and Bo Kittredge won gold. And when you win a championship like that, you get a gold medal, and it looks a little bit like this. Here's the thing. All of the medals from the World Games this year did not say World Games. Instead, they said Word Games. A bad typo by the World Games organizers. This is still a beautiful medal. I don't know if we can zoom in on. This is Ashlyn Joy's gold medal, and it was not a Scrabble tournament. They sort of added the L in there at the last moment, but this is what it looks like. A gold medal from the 2013 Cali World Games in Colombia.
Hey, I'm sure he'll take it. Pretty good looking medal. That is kind of funny though, the Word Game. Sounds like the Hunger Games a little bit.
Yeah.
So a nice win from Ashlyn. That guy is just getting better and better every year. Pretty exciting to see him representing his country and also representing the San Jose Spiders.
Tim Levis has a silver medal, and Bo Kittredge, Ashlyn Joy, part of that gold medal team coached by Maddie Sang and Alex Gesquier. A lot of other Bay Area guys on that team, Mac Taylor, Alex Snyder. Tim Levis told me he primarily guarded George Stubbs, which is not an easy matchup for anybody.
Definitely not an easy matchup. That guy's flick defies all logic.
I want to thank Ashlyn Joy for lending us his medal to show you.
The eBay auction starts soon. Just kidding.
I asked both Ashlyn and Bo, and Bo said, I don't really know where my medal is. I'm more focused on the next one than the past ones.
That sounds like Bo. Don't let him fool you, though. He knows where that medal is.
So San Jose down by 2, and an important hold of serve here for Kittredge and the Spiders. And a turnover. You know, everything except for the fact that Vancouver's on the road, I think is in Vancouver's favor. The Riptide are going to take a timeout and perhaps bring the offense back on the field, something you're allowed to do. We'll take the timeout too. 56 seconds into the second. The Riptide could go up by 3 here at San Jose.
I missed my graduation to practice. I sleep so we could drill. I missed anniversary, Father's Day, Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, I missed some plane flights. I even missed my parents' anniversary. I missed a lot.
So Vancouver, after the timeout, has the offense on the field. The Riptide, a fresh team. Vancouver winning its last game over Seattle last weekend. And while San Jose hasn't played in 2 weeks, members of the Spiders were practicing this morning with Revolver. And I've never been to one of those practices, but you have, and you can tell us that they're not exactly walks in the park.
They're so long and exhausting, and they build in these comical 10-minute breaks that are supposed to recharge you, make you ready to go out and run again, but let me tell you, they don't work. Maybe it was a conditioning thing for me, not out of the realm of possibilities, but 4-hour practices are exactly what they sound like. They are murder.
Oh, Kittredge comes up with a D as Vancouver gives it away immediately. Third D for Kittredge, and he picks up another assist to the recently married Kevin Cox in the end zone.
Nice heads-up play there by Bo. Just shot the lane right as the stall's getting higher. Remember, you only have 7 seconds. I think he ran out of options and ran out of time and just had to boot it. You see the first option's not there, second option isn't there, time's getting up there, he just has to get rid of the disc. And it's an unfortunate turn for Vancouver.
That's the type of play that really prevented Vancouver from competing down the stretch in the game earlier this month against San Jose. You know, when you have so many goals, it was 39-32, there were so many points where there were no turnovers, and it was just brilliant offensive flow from both teams. I was watching basically that whole game earlier this week and watched some of it today as well, and the offensive flow was incredible. I mean, you want to see good offensive flow, just go watch that game. If you're a fan of defense, probably pick another game.
Yeah, you might want to. It's interesting to know that San Jose has a lot of Revolver's O-line on it. Kind of makes sense.
Levis. He was an Australian rules football player growing up. Went to university in Newcastle. They didn't have an Australian rules football team, so he started playing Ultimate. Became an international caliber player. This is Fenton looking deep for Wu. And Darren Wu shows the disc to Sonny Zaccaro. Wow.
Wow, a little swagger there. I like it. I'm really enjoying watching these Vancouver guys. They're not intimidated at all. They're coming right into San Jose's house. Yeah, you got the 3 best players in North America, arguably. But if you throw it to me, I'm going to catch it. And watch this guy just go up. Gets position.
That's a sensational sky from Darren Wu.
Yeah, really well done. Really well done. Gets position, goes up early, closes on the disc.
This was one of the cool dynamics of Vancouver's team earlier in the season. Tim Levis was basically put in charge. The Lloyd family owns the team. Mark Lloyd, one of the best players in the league with the Toronto Rush, he helped to organize the team trials. And then they brought Tim Levis aboard. And now Levis didn't really know any of these guys. He went to Vancouver. He's spending a year there, taking the advantage of playing for this team, but it was basically a blank slate. He had no preconceived notion about who could do what and what guys have done in the past. And I think that's created a real meritocracy in which guys have earned their time. And the story that Tim Levis told me about Darren Wu, they were guarding each other. Tim Levis and Ashlyn Joy throws this one away. Back to the story in a second. Vancouver looking for the break. On the brink of the end zone for Magalone. And Vancouver strikes Max Hunter. And the Riptide back up by 3.
Some great angles for Vancouver. Throws the blade right over the top for the goal. You know, a lot of these guys, we were watching Chicago last weekend, and they're just so conservative. They're really committed to throwing flat throws and not looking over the top, in my opinion, enough, not throwing enough blades, not being creative enough with the space that's available to him. You can see right here, gets the catch on the end zone line, says, you know what, nobody can touch this except my guy.
If you're Ashlyn Joy there, it looked like he was indecisive. Do I try for the double team, or do I have to drop off and take that guy cutting?
Yeah, it's a tough spot. You're in a pickle for sure.
And the indecisiveness cost him one or the other. It would have been better off. So Tim Levis was at one of the first practices with the Riptide, and there's this guy, Darren Wu, who's not that big, 18 years old. He didn't really know anything about him. They were guarding each other. A deep shot was sent up to Levis, and he was just like so certain he was going to get it. A play that he's made millions of times before, just like Simon Higgins has. And to make a long story short, if that's possible at this point, Darren Wu basically went up and skied the international caliber player. And at this point, at that point, he realized that Darren Wu was a guy who was going to be a big-time star with great potential at just 18 years of age. And another careless turnover on the goal line for San Jose.
Yeah, you could see Fenton didn't hesitate at all to throw it up to him.
Ronaldo Arteaga fighting through the double team and the rising stall count.
Looks like a foul there. I'm wondering if the whistle blew. Looks like it did. Very active hands from the two marks there. Timeout, looks like.
Timeout called by the Riptide. Vancouver right now surprising the league, up 11-8 in the second quarter.
He's coming down the ice. He's coming around the net. Centering pass. Oh, look at this. A break for Canada. He shoots. He scores. Canada wins in overtime. Canada back on top of the world.
Beautiful day for Ultimate here in the South Bay area. We're in Los Altos Hills, the home of the San Jose Spiders, Foothill College Stadium. They always have wind here, except not today. Very little breeze whatsoever. Great conditions to score, just like they had in Vancouver when these two teams met on May the 10th and combined for 71 goals. San Jose has averaged about 28 goals per game. They've scored 30 plus 3 different times, but only 8 so far.
Yeah, they look a little sluggish. They're fighting themselves a little bit on O, making some careless mistakes. Just a couple miscommunications that last, I think it was 2 points ago, where Ashland made a throw to space. Nobody was going there. Now they're not quite in sync. I think they'll snap out of it because these guys really hate to lose. But so far, nothing too impressive.
Well, again, we talked about it off the top, but Kirk Gibson, one of the best players in the world, he's not here today for good reason, and we'll talk about that in a bit. Mark Albogan, a guy who's really become a star, in my opinion.
Yeah, really breaking out this year.
He's not here. Kevin Smith, one of their player coaches, usually one of their key handlers. Another deep shot looking for Fenton. He's not in, but he's got the disc. Fenton, the sensational crossfield hammer.
Bo collides with Wu there. I'm pretty sure it was incidental, but it's pretty fast. When Bo gets going fast, he's so top heavy, he just tends to slam into people.
Stop by the reflip table to see how.
Did not see the referees put their hands in the air to signal goal, but it's a goal on the scoreboard. Vancouver by 4.
Yeah, nice hammer over the top. They're exploiting the width of this field. We keep saying, if they reverse the field, they're hitting these scoobers and hammers over the top of the double team and swinging it all the way around. The backside of the field is just wide open right now. San Jose just not really willing to cover the full 53.5 yards.
Well, Derek Fenton has become known for what he calls the stunner, the 50, 60-yard cross-field hammer.
I like that.
This
stunner.
was not a full field shot, but it was a full cross-field shot. And early today when Vancouver arrived at the stadium, they were all wearing tight black tank tops with pink writing on the front, and the one word in big pink letters, stunner. They're trying to pull off the stunner in more ways than one here today in San Jose. And what really could be a landmark weekend for the Riptide. This is the San Jose score as Scott Roeder, the former UC Irvine competitor, hauls it in.
Wow, what a throw by Ashland Joy. He's got a little wind in his face when he winds up and delivers this. Let's take a look at how he gets so much power on this throw.
Number 27, Ashland Joy, to number 1, Scott Roeder.
So you can see Ashland here getting the disc out wide, sets his feet, and watch him just uncork this. He gets his whole body into these throws. You can see he kind of bends his knees, brings the arm all the way from behind his back, and somehow is able to dial that in. That is a really difficult thing to do with very little momentum going forward. But Ashland just lasers it in there.
Ashland Joy played college ultimate at UC Davis. A guy who has transformed his mentality playing with Revolver, who was nearly cut by Revolver a few years back. Brought a renewed focus that helped him become one of the best players in the country. Here's a deep shot for Vancouver. Nathan White chasing defensively, but again, Vancouver stands tall in the air. This time, Mads Gottlieb. I beg your pardon, that's Derek Fenton.
And again, that was, I believe, Edward Guo winding up and delivering the backhand. No hesitation from Vancouver. Watch him get this, rock the mark to the right, and immediately rip the backhand. He knew as soon as he caught that what he was going to throw. He knew his receiver. He liked the look. Winds and delivers before the mark can even get set. So crucial if you're young and you're coming up and you want to know how to huck. It's all about catching and delivering the ball deep before the mark is even on you.
The Riptide ahead 13-9. And Vancouver just looks like a team in a great rhythm right now. They're riding this wave of momentum.
Yeah, and Fenton is living up to the hype. He is going up against their best and ripping the disc down. Love to watch this guy play.
Roeder back to Joy. And now Kittredge. He's done more damage underneath than he has deep. Here's a big lefty flick looking for Bacon. Shy of the end zone by just a few yards. Drops it back, and then Sanchez flips it to Bacon for the San Jose score.
Yeah, nice heads-up play there by Bacon. If he hangs onto that and tries to throw to his receiver there, he risks the defense recovering. If he does a little throw and go, basically he's ensuring that the defense can't close him out.
On the score for San Jose, number 22, Marcelo Sanchez, to number 55, Tyler.
We talk a lot about the guys that San Jose doesn't have, but this is a deeper team that I think people, mainly us, gave it credit for early in the season. When they were here playing San Francisco on April 12th to begin the season, we said San Francisco is the deeper team. We said that because they had more Revolver guys and more San Francisco talent, but I don't think we factored in the influx of the Santa Barbara scene into the San Jose squad.
Yeah, you know, it was right. There was a wake-up call in that first game against San Francisco when Silverman came out and just made crazy layout Ds. Kevin Smith, no surprise, came out and held his own. And we just saw some guys that we didn't even know were on the radar come out and really dominate that first game. I'd still say San Francisco's deeper. I'm not sure if they're going to win, of course. But their roster's pretty juicy. They got Polar Bears, Blackbird, and Revolver guys, all champions. It's tough to bet against them for me, at least.
Fenton back to Lim, and finally San Jose makes a play defensively. Tim Gilligan.
Yeah, San Jose really needs that from Gilligan. He's a fiery guy. He's hungry for the disc. And here's the shot to the end zone. Nice bid, but Bo Kittredge going to pull that one in.
There's the D from Gilligan. Poaching into the passing lane for the Spiders. And then offensively, Kittredge, impossible to guard on the upline cut.
I can't tell you how many goals he's scored from the break side, just running upfield full sprint. Just like this. Sets up on the backhand side, sprints to the cone. Nobody in the game can stay with him.
Eli Kearns picks up the assist. Nice bid by the Vancouver defender. The 18-year-old Darren Wu.
Some of these matchups really fun to watch. Darren Wu against Bo Kittredge. Also watching Fenton guard Kittredge. Two big guys, big leapers, athletic guys. I'd love to see these guys battle in the lane all night.
And that matchup with Wu facing Kittredge, I mean, that's, you know, the present, but Darren Wu's the future. I mean, 18 years old.
I can't believe how young he is. He looks so poised out there.
He does. And here's Levis, guarded by White. Back to Lee. And now upfield for Fenton. Takes a deep shot to the back corner. What a perfect put. The score from Richie Tam, but Derek Fenton with another beautiful pass for the Riptide.
Yeah, Fenton's got one thing on his mind. That's getting the disc in the end zone. He is just doing everything tonight, making it look easy, getting the easy unders, and then just threading the needle deep. Makes it look so easy, so casual. Basically, he threw this in the back 5-yard box of the end zone. Chris Thompson here in pursuit, not able to close out. That's a heck of a throw.
I mean, one more step and Tam's out of bounds there.
That's right. If it's even a little bit further, he has to toe the line. It becomes a lot more difficult to run it out. It's a great throw.
So Vancouver is led by as many as 4.
See Higgins settling for the under. I think he's gotten blocked a couple times, and he's a little tentative to just run deep like he may have at the beginning of the game.
Kittredge serves as the handler pivot to Chang, and then Bacon, he's in for the score. Bacon beating Hunter up line for the Spiders.
Yeah, great job there by Tyler Bacon. Sets up like he's coming back for the dump. As soon as he sees the defender rock towards the backfield, he turns, and he's got such a quick first step there. Let's see if we can watch him set this up. Number 18, Greg Cohen there, apparently got injured at Revolver Tryouts today. Took a cleat in the ribs. May have a busted rib. We should certainly miss him.
Ouch.
So we watch here. Let's see if we can see Bacon coming back from the right side of your screen. He's kind of sets up like he's going backfield. We already see him exploding deep at that point, but makes the defender choose. Are you going to give me the reset, or are you going to try to defend the reset? And if you do,
you shudder to think about where San Jose would be right now without Stephen Chang. He's been a key part of their offense.
Yeah, he's really stepped up. Fun to watch.
Fenton was looking deep. This time it's Jeff Silverman on him downfield.
I like that matchup. Because one thing you can count on from Silverman, he's going to go for the disc.
The handler's just biding time right now. Horizontal stack from Vancouver, not leading to many openings so far. Riptide in the wrong direction.
Yeah, nice pressure downfield from San Jose. They're really not giving Vancouver the looks they want. And even with these quick little resets up the middle, as we see a hammer over the top. Wow, that's set up quickly. So as soon as they get over the top of the mark, things open up for Vancouver once again. Laser beam down the line.
Stall. Ryan Sun held it too long, and that's a turnover.
It's like a kid in the candy store. They're not sure what to pick out. He had a lot of options. You can see in the AUDL you have 7 seconds to throw the disc. It's a silent stall count as well, so these players don't necessarily know when they're a half second away from being stalled. San Jose using the full width of the field here.
I think we see more stalls when the offense is near the goal line. They're used to taking that extra second to make sure that throw's there, and sometimes they lose track of time.
It's true, and a lot of these coaching staffs really hammer home the point that we've got to handle the disc and convert in the red zone. I think that gets in your head a little bit. Careless drop there by Bo.
Yeah, you don't see that too often. With the way Vancouver's flowing offensively, every single turnover feels so monumental here. I think unquestionably this has been the longest point of the game from a time perspective.
Yeah, you might be right about that. Lots of quick scores.
I think some of the downfield cutters are a little worn out here for Vancouver.
I think you're right. Might be a great time to burn a timeout. Push pass over the top through the mark.
There's no way that should have worked. It did work, but it shouldn't have worked.
Should not have worked.
Vancouver, though, trying to take advantage of the tired Spiders defense.
Yeah, if you're not sure if a guy's tired, take a look at the marks, take a look at the throwers, and you'll notice a lot of the knees aren't bending, a lot of the heels are on the ground. These guys are a little bit gassed.
Ryan Lee made a great grab and then threw it away. And nobody going deep off the turn for San Jose. Kittredge playing catch with Kearns, and then the deep shot. Too much. Looking for Zaccaro.
Zaccaro, hands on his knees. He is tired. That was a heck of a deep shot, though, by Eli Kearns. Set it up quick and just ripped that IO flick. Probably could have used a little more wind to pop that disc up.
Looking for Wu, 1-on-3. Unbelievable sky from Darren Wu. The 18-year-old has been arguably the best player on the field. Over the top, Vancouver converts. And Ryan's son hauls in the hammer.
How do you not like the Riptide right now? Just making exciting plays, taking their shots at the end zone, throwing hammers, big layouts, big skies. These guys are for real.
Darren Wu, born and bred in Vancouver. University of British Columbia has a star on the roster. Look at this. Could not have timed it any better.
Nobody even close. Look at the read he gets on this. He's up early. He's ready to absorb contact even. Comes down with the disc. This guy is just shocking right now.
Final 2.5 minutes of the first half. It'll be interesting to see how the Spiders respond, trailing at halftime for the first time ever.
Nice help on the mark there. That would have been a goal, I think, from Higgins.
Late mark getting to Joy. He hits Bacon up line to the end zone. Bacon gets Sanchez. Nothing's easy, though, for San Jose.
No, that was to the break side. That was a really tough throw to the break side, and still lay out over the shoulder, nearly D'd. I'm really impressed with Vancouver right now.
It was Tam who nearly had the D. And then Gottlieb laying out, just coming up short.
Nice pursuit by Gottlieb, though. That's the kind of disc that, you find out what kind of player you have if you're a coach. If you see a guy like Gottlieb run that all the way out, can't even really gather his feet, but he's going to put his hand as close to the disc as possible. That's the kind of guy you want to build around. We're watching the NBA playoffs right now, and there's a lot of this showmanship that we're seeing in the NBA that in a lot of cases isn't here in the AUDL. It's kind of nice. You see guys not trying to look good, just trying to make plays. And I think that's what professional sports are missing right now.
Yeah, I don't think Darren Wu is going to get next to Bo Kittredge and start blowing in his ear.
I would love to see that, by the way.
Vancouver offensively is making it look easy. This is Taylor Nadon who hauls in the score.
Yeah, these are all setting up. If you watch how these set up, it's always a little short break up the middle or an over the top to the center of the field and then a huck to the end zone. And that's so effective because if you're a defender, you're going to be on, let's say, the flick side of the disc. You're on the flick side of your defender, rather, or the cutter, excuse me. And you're set up on the wrong side of the field, basically. The guy's over the top, so he's in the middle of the field right now. He's got whatever he wants. Or I'm sorry, there's going to be a little break here.
Back to Lee, who
there we go.
He's the primary handler.
Yeah, these quick resets before the mark gets set, downfield, you're out of position. You're not expecting this throw to go up. And even Natali not able to close out on this thrower. So it ends up looking like a blown assignment. It's not really, though. It's just a great break setting up a huck.
And as a handler, is there a better time to throw the disc deep than when you had that momentum going forward?
Definitely not. You catch not only the mark off guard, but you catch all those downfield defenders off guard. They're probably not even sure where the disc is.
Final 90 seconds of the first half. Joy to Chang, lays out. Foul called. Stephen Chang shaken up.
Yeah, scary moment there. They both laid out. Looked like Chang came down first, and the Vancouver defender landed on his left shoulder. Might have knocked the wind out of him. Let's hope that's all it is.
Chang trying to pop up. That's a good sign. We'll get a look here.
Oh, right on it. Ride him, Cowboy. That was Francisco Mogolian.
Mogolon landed right on top of Chang.
Oh,
thankfully, he's walking off the field on his own power. He came out of the game, though. Kittredge picks up the disc. He's got great reach. Swings to Joy. Ashland again. Bacon right near the end zone with a minute to go in the half. Oh, what a grab by Simon Higgins. A celebratory punt spike after he pulled it over his defender's shoulder.
Nice job by San Jose to close out here. Lots of pressure. They were really looking to break the mark near the end zone. It just wasn't setting up for them, but they hang in there and maintain possession of the disc. That's the most important thing in the red zone.
This is just a put to space, and Higgins had the reach. And his first point of contact was inbounds.
And I think Higgins is a little frustrated. He's used to having his way out there, and it's just been a grind for him all night. We're not even to the end of the first half yet.
44 seconds left in the half. Over the top to Levis. Levis, dangerous throw, but he gets it to Fenton. It's been a big half for Fenton and Vancouver. The visitors making a statement in this statement weekend. They play at San Francisco at 1 o'clock tomorrow. 15 seconds in the half. Can Wu get there? He can! Darren Wu lays out for the score with 8 seconds left in the half. And Vancouver's back up by 3. Darren Wu making a name for himself today. Einar Lim overshot Taylor Nadon. But Darren Wu there to clean it up. This kid has not been playing Ultimate for that long. He started playing in 11th grade. Not much time left for San Jose. Clock will start on the first throw. Joy with 2 seconds, with 1. It seems like he's got it off. Kittredge cannot come down with it. Fenton, Gottlieb, Hunter, all in the area to knock it down for the Riptide. And at halftime, Vancouver takes a 3-score lead to the locker room. Higgins and Kittredge circling the disc here. But Derek Fenton leading the league in assists and comes up with a big D to keep Vancouver with all the momentum heading into halftime. What a first 24 minutes we've had here today. A Vancouver team that really has not been discussed because it has not beaten a Bay Area giant. The FlameThrowers and the Spiders, both 6-1 atop the West Division, but then you have this Vancouver team.
It's time for
Chuck
the Mystery
Kindred
House
is standing
Red
by
Game.
with
Our
Derek
contestants are
Fenton.
playing for a pair of tickets from Winchester Mystery House. Today's contestants are Martha
Art, I'm on the sideline with Derek Fenton, one of the stars in the first half. Derek, what was the key for you guys in the first half coming out here against San Jose and kind of taking control early?
Big thing is just our handlers have been super disc. Dispossession's huge. A lot of the guys are just really coming down with some grabs. Darren's absolutely skying the shit out of everyone. I don't think I can say that, but these guys are really playing out of their minds, and we're going to hope to continue in that second half.
And where do a lot of these players come from? I know there's a big junior scene in Vancouver. Are these homegrown Vancouver guys? Are you getting the international scene coming your way?
For the most part, most of the guys are from Vancouver. We have a couple imports from Venezuela as well as Colombia. We have another big Dane, Mads. He's from overseas as well, but most of them are homegrown Vancouverites.
That's pretty impressive. How do you feel so far? You know, we're about halfway through the first season here. How do you guys feel about your chances? How do you like working with the coach, Tim Levis? Any thoughts about where you guys are at so far?
Pretty excited. Tim's a great guy. He's from Australia. I should have mentioned him. He's from overseas as well. He's got a very unique coaching style. He's very for the players, by the players, and his style is just really benefiting for a lot of the guys who are a lot younger and really growing into their roles.
Anybody you're excited to play against on San Jose and on San Francisco this weekend?
All of them. They're all great players. Like, you look at every single one of those guys. Those guys put on absolutely fantastic shows. You see some of the grabs these guys are doing, and they are top teams. And heck, the fans out here. You got hundreds of guys coming out for the men and women come out here, and it's absolutely spectacular. So that's what I'm really excited about.
That's great stuff. What was it like to work with Mark Lloyd? I know he came out for your combine, maybe helped you guys set up early on during tryouts.
Mark, he's a great guy. I've known him for a lot of years. Played against him for a lot of years. Haven't been fortunate enough to play with him. But, he set up a really good system, and I think the biggest thing was that they really just believed in the guys. We're a very young team. I'm 26. I'm definitely on the older side, which is saying something. But, Mark's a great guy. Jim Lloyd, he's been really spectacular from the management side as well.
How do you guys come out here and play so confidently for a young team? I've been very impressed to just see how you guys come out and play fearlessly. You're going up and winning discs against some of the marquee players in the sport. How do you do it?
Big thing is we just keep it loose. I spent the afternoon on the roller coasters today. A couple of guys went shopping today. We just keep it, very low key, and then when it's business time, you turn it on. Because if you try and do it, especially with a young group of guys, if you try and turn it on all day, you kind of psych yourself out. With this kind of role, is that hey, guys stay loose, they have a good time, and it benefits in the long run.
All right, well, good luck in the second half, and good luck this weekend. It's great to meet you. Great to see you on the field down here in San Jose.
Awesome, thanks so much. See you guys.
And we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to take a look at some highlights from AUDL Week 7 when we're back.
I missed my graduation, practice, sleep so we could drill. I missed anniversary, Father's Day, Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, Saturday. I missed the final exam. I missed the point play. I even missed my parents' anniversary. I missed a lot.
To George, looking for redemption, and Meshnick shuts him down with a layout. Nice play from Meshnick.
(17-14), Vancouver leads at the break. This characterizes as a surprise. And let's take a look at some of the first half highlights. Evan Lepler and Chuck Kindred with you, a great crowd on hand, and they're pretty shell-shocked. Are you?
I am. I didn't know what to expect from Vancouver. I've been so impressed. You heard it from Derek Fenton at halftime. They're just playing loose. They're out there getting the disc, and they're just not intimidated. It's really fun to watch.
Going on a roller coaster for a few hours before the game, that's a way to get loose and get ready for a big game.
Yeah, hard to be stressed out playing Frisbee when you've been going upside down for a couple hours. Nice layout D there early.
Yeah, that was Mads Gottlieb made the play, and Vancouver has just made more things happen. Offense has been easier for Vancouver than it's been for San Francisco, despite great plays like that from Stephen Chang. And over the course of the game, San Jose has just had a tougher time.
Here's the play of the night so far. Look at this incredible catch, and then as time expires, just gets some touch on it, gets it out in front of his receiver, and they get a goal on the board at the end of the first quarter. That was incredible.
Kittredge fumbled the D earlier and then picked up this one near the end zone. solid more as a handler in the first half than as a cutter.
Yeah, it's true. I got a feeling Bo's not at 100%. He just seems a little lethargic out there. He's a tough guy to read, though. Anybody who's spent time with him, he is a little bit of an enigma. Sometimes you don't know if he got his best or if he got his worst.
But we knew seeing Vancouver for the first time on national TV, there would be the fair share of breakout stars. And I think perhaps number one on the list is Darren Wu.
The guy was incredible, so athletic, getting open deep and just going up early and catching these discs. So impressive, especially at the end of the second quarter there. He went up over 3 defenders and comes down with it. I think this was it. And this was in the middle of a very long point. You can see Eli Kearns closing from the backside there. But no matter, Wu just goes up, closes out on this disc, absorbs contact, and holds onto the disc. This guy's so athletic.
He runs track and field at University of British Columbia. It's pretty amazing. Ultimate Frisbee player as well. And the way the half ended, Darren Wu, in the back of the end zone, that was the final score to make it 17-14. And then San Jose a chance here to really gain some momentum back heading into halftime. Derek Fenton wouldn't let it happen.
Yeah, Higgins in the back, you know, trying to catch a 500, just like we saw in the first showcase game of the year here. But this time Fenton just took all his thunder away. Really impressive. You can see he just gets position, boxes out. Nice throw, but to no avail.
And a 17-14 lead at halftime. Vancouver in front. And if you're San Jose right now, you need to dig deep and discover some wherewithal. They have not been tested at home like this, not even by San Fran.
Yeah, I wouldn't say they're worried, but you're exactly right. They're not used to being behind. They're not expecting to lose this game. And if they want to win it, unfortunately, they're going to have to fight real hard to get it because Vancouver does not look like they want to lose tonight.
If we can, let's throw that West Division graphic up on the screen and take a look at, again, where these 3 teams stacked up, San Francisco, San Jose, and Vancouver. Because, you know, San Jose has lost to San Fran once. That was by 1 point. San Jose beat San Francisco by 4 points, I believe it was. And Vancouver has the 2 losses to the top 2 teams, but has owned the bottom of the division. Unlike the other divisions, which we'll look at in a second, only 2 teams from the West make the playoffs. So it looks like a 3-team race for 2 spots. And this could be the night, and this could be the weekend where everybody starts to take Vancouver seriously.
I think you're right. They're definitely coming down here to make a statement. You know, we heard Derek talking about how this is a young team. You know, he's 26 and he's one of the old guys on the team, one of the savvy vets. So these guys don't even know they're supposed to lose this game. It's pretty fun to watch them just go out and win.
They were pretty PO'd at the start of the season when there were different power rankings out there that had Vancouver 17th out of 17 or 16 out of 17. Clearly, they're in the top of the league in that department. And when you look at how this division stacks up to the other divisions, there's basically a 3-team race in every league. Can we throw up the East or the Midwest? Either one, it's a great race. Let's start in the Midwest. You have 3 teams that all have 6 wins. I think the Alley Cats are perhaps the Vancouver of the Midwest, surprising people. A lot of close victories for Indy. Madison and Chicago split last weekend. Did you come away from last weekend thinking that there was a favorite in the Midwest division, either Madison or Chicago or Indy?
I think Madison's your favorite. They just look very poised, and they're used to beating Chicago when it counts. I didn't see anything new from Chicago, and until I see those guys play with a little more grit, a little more determination, I'm not betting on Chicago going anywhere further than maybe just making the bracket.
If the season ended today, before today's action, the 3-seed Indy would play at number 1 seed Madison, and the 2 from the Midwest would take on the 2 from the East. And right now, the Empire of New York have a better record, so as of now, they would host that game. As we shift to the East graphic, Toronto still undefeated. I believe they took down Montreal at home earlier tonight. New York and DC neck and neck for that 2-3 spot. And, you know, early in the season, Toronto had those 2 nail-biters against DC and New York on the road. The best news for the Rush is they don't have to go back down south all the way to DC again in the regular season. And, you know, New York and DC battling for that 2 spot to avoid having to play at Toronto in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see how DC performs throughout the season. They're a new team. They've got the best coach in the league, Alex Gesquier, a.k.a. Dutchie. He coached Revolver. He coached the World's team, the Word Games team, if you will. He's absolutely elite. He knows how to get a lot out of his talent. And they also have Brett Matsuka, who's on the same level as some of these superstars on San Jose. He's one of those guys that can just take over a game. And I think if they hit the right stride, they might really surprise some people in the East.
Again, the halftime score here in San Jose, 17-14, Vancouver with the lead. You know, the Bo Kittredge bobbleheads debuted today, and the fans who bought season tickets all got a bobblehead. Unfortunately, they didn't expect to debut the bobbleheads on a night when they might lose, and that's basically the story tonight. Vancouver up by 3 at the half. We'll take a quick timeout. Second half pull when we come back to Foothill College. The AUDL Game of the Week on ESPN continues in just a moment.
Yeah, it's a zip car. I don't own it, I just use it when I need it. Zipcar has thousands of cars parked all over the city, even 2 on my block. Can use one for an hour or for a day. And Zipcar pays for gas and insurance. It's easy.
Go to zipcar.com to get your zip card, the key to vehicles parked in your neighborhood and across the globe. For work or play, find a zip car near you, book it,
And before you know it, you're on the road.
cars by the hour or day, gas and insurance included.
Join for as little as $6 per month at zipcar.com.
I missed my graduation, practice, I sleep so we could drill. I missed anniversary and Father's Day, Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, Saturday. I missed some plane flights. I even missed my parents' anniversary. I missed a lot.
Perfect timing as we get set to begin the third quarter of play here from Foothill College Stadium in the lovely town of Los Altos Hills, not far from San Jose, where the Spiders call home. And the visitors from Vancouver begin the second half on offense with a 3-point lead.
Yeah, let's see if San Jose comes out with a little more fire here at the beginning of the second half. If they want to rally, the third quarter is a great time to do it.
Riptide in the white beginning the second half on offense. Wherever you are watching the game, we want to invite you to be a part of the broadcast on Twitter. You can tweet at Evan Lepler or at Chucktown Now. And simple question, do you think San Jose is going to come back and win this game? Vancouver now leads by 4 as Darren Wu again beats his defender deep. This time Kevin Cox could not keep up and he gets shaken up on the play. Again, tweet at Evan Lepler or at Chucktown Now. Will the Spiders come back and win at home, or will the Riptide continue to cruise? This is another assist with a big
disc throw at the entrance of the
outside in flick.
Yeah, right back to work. Fenton finding Wu. Our 2 stars from the first half are right back at it.
San Jose Spiders.
You got to like your chances if you're Vancouver. There's no pressure on you to win. These guys are under the gun in front of their home crowd, bobbleheads, season ticket holders, all this expectation, ESPN Game of the Week. It's all upside for Vancouver. It's all pressure for San Jose.
I think the people out there want to know how you got the nickname Chucktown.
So do I, actually. For whatever reason, it's stuck. And a nice deep shot here. Sanchez again open deep all night, and it looks like he might...
He dropped it.
May have dropped it.
Yeah,
wow.
He dropped it on the pancake as he was sliding to come up. That was a big mistake.
Yeah, it was interesting. I thought he maybe injured his knee or something. But he just tried to balance himself, and a big layout D on the underneath.
That's Ashlyn Joy making the play for the Spiders. And he picks up. Crossfield swing for Sanchez. Forced flick, he goes with a lefty backhand. With the stall count rising, Joy resets to Bacon, back to Joy. He's not in yet. And Joy hits Bacon on the short backhand. That point belonged to Ashland, and it was a big one with Vancouver staring a 5-point lead in the face. San Jose gets the D in the score.
Yeah, Ashland Joy doing exactly what you need your leaders to do. You need him to come in right now, set the tone for the rest of the team. He comes in and gets a huge layout D here, somehow gets around without fouling, gets a piece of the disc, and then he's quarterbacking. Look at that bid by Ashland, just incredible. And oh, by the way, he's a handler. Allegedly, he's a handler. And then what does he do? He just hangs onto the disc, maintains possession, sets up wide, moves the mark, and eventually finds a way to get it into the end zone. Ashland Joy taking over the way I'm sure San Jose wants him to.
You know, Ashland has played most of the offensive points. You don't really see him get to play defense all that often, but he can do that too.
Yeah, he's a freakish athlete.
Pulling for San Jose, number 99, Tim Gilligan.
So San Jose really needs a break here. Big pull from Tim Gilligan. Let's see if they can apply some pressure, get a quick turn. So far, they really haven't bothered the offense of Vancouver.
Ashland Joy on the sidelines. Bo Kittredge is on for this deep point, chasing Derek Fenton, who's open underneath. It's fun to watch Fenton catch the disc, and he's immediately looking downfield to see if anybody's going deep for him. And now he's going deep. Kittredge chasing from behind, and there was a little contact, but doesn't look like there was a foul. The referees will converge, and there's nothing. From here, it looked like Kittredge may have touched him in the back, but I'm not sure that was why the disc fell incomplete.
It's hard to say. It was also the timing of that contact, if there was any. It's right when he's about to close and he's in the air. But in any event, refs didn't see it. San Jose takes over.
Gilligan lines up. A deep shot for Keough. This is Brett Peterson. Over to Silverman. And now the point man, Kittredge.
Great transition D from Vancouver. And they get the turn. Nice adjustment. It looks like it's going to be a foul on the throw.
Gilligan threw into the mark of Tam. And in a USAU game, you make that call yourself and throw. In this game, you're sort of at the mercy of the referee blowing the whistle. This time they did.
It's true. You run the risk when you take those high-risk rounds, counting on the whistle to blow. I was looking like an idiot when it doesn't.
It's like a jump shooter, though. You get the defender off his feet, you lean into him, and there's usually contact, but sometimes the referees just let that go.
That awkward moment when the whistle doesn't blow.
Gilligan could not convert the and one. Now battles through the double team, and San Jose to the end zone for Kittredge.
Kittredge so dangerous across the front line of the end zone. Almost no one can stay with him over 20 yards like that. So San Jose gets what they needed there. They get a break. They put in some of their stars like Bo on defense right now. They're back within 2. Let's see if they can keep the momentum moving. So here we see that step through backhand. Luckily the foul called there. Gilligan went ahead and did it again.
The far side referee put his hands in the air, signaling a score, but it was the backside ref who called the foul.
You see how open Bo gets when he sets those up and sprints 20 yards across the front of the end zone.
And it looked like he was signaling a score when the Vancouver guy got the disc in the end zone too. So
that would have been an amazing score.
Yeah, it would have been. So the Spiders with a break.
Nate Bosher.
Bosher keeps the pull in bounds. Fenton streaking deep. Lee lets it fly. Fenton versus White. Fenton comes away with it. He has been unstoppable. Back to Levis. And it's Wu. I beg your pardon. That is Guo. Edward Guo with the score for Vancouver to reestablish the 3-point lead.
And a nice little shake and bake there. Guo gets around, rocks the defender back to the break side, turns Chris Thompson's hips, and then releases to the cone. Thompson did well to stop the first 2 looks there. But here we see Fenton just doing what he's been doing all night, winning the high discs. I mean, Nate White played that pretty well. Just barely missed. I thought he got first touch on it. It looks like he just barely went off his fingertips. Can't do much better than that from that position.
You mentioned this earlier, but that doesn't happen very often in Nathan White. He is a pretty dominant player in the sky.
Yeah, that's his domain. So when you're hitting the deep shot over Nate White, things are working for you.
Sanchez swings for Bacon. Shooting one, looking for Chang. Incomplete.
Chang looks a little tired. I think that's a bit if he's fresh. You know, it's hard to understand when you're watching it on TV, but when your legs are tired, the act of bidding just is a huge explosion of energy. And if you're gassed, if you don't have it in your legs, you can see he's just kind of slowing down, grinding. Maybe it wouldn't have made a difference, though.
Big hammer over the top. This is Graham Landon, one of the defensive captains. Mogolone has been a key handler. This is a floaty crossfield swing, and he hits Lee.
And Lee right to work off that catch.
And a receiver travel. I think Vancouver's going to keep the disc, but it's a yardage penalty. There's a difference between a thrower travel and a receiver travel. The thrower travel becomes a turnover, and it's once the receiver sets the pivot foot, that's when you would qualify as a thrower. Before then, the referee ruled that the receiver turned angled forward, which you can't do, but it's just a reset and a loss of yardage. It's a confusing dichotomy, but you understand.
It is, and it's dangerous for a guy like Bo, who's been known to drag that pivot foot. He's been known to do that his whole career. Finally, a foul called on some of this incidental contact during a catch there. Certainly not intentional, but Sanchez got him in the back. I think that's the right call.
And a whistle, contact downfield, and a timeout was called. Vancouver from the sideline takes the timeout, and we'll take it too. Closing in on the midway point of the third quarter, and San Jose still trails by 3. Vancouver's disc when we come back to Los Altos Hills, California.
He's coming down the ice. He's coming around the net. Centering pass. Oh, look at this. A break for Canada. He shoots. He scores. Canada wins in overtime. Canada back on top of the world.
Well, the San Jose fans enjoying a gorgeous night in the Bay Area. But the Spiders have been unable to handle the Riptide so far. 19-16 the score, and our Twitter question, which you can respond to at Evan Lepler or at Chucktown Now. Will the Spiders come back in this game? And Chuck, you've gotten some responses on both sides.
Yeah, at Tuck is Stuck said Riptide looks so much quicker right now, they should be able to maintain the spread. Mark Sue, however, said San Jose for sure, experience matters. Both great points.
Every once in a while, the Twitterverse has an insightful comment.
I'll say. Hopefully they can't find a way to do my job from the comfort of their couch over Twitter.
We could never replace you, my friend.
Thanks, sweetie.
Here's a deep shot to the end zone. This is Will Vu tiptoeing the back line, and he is in. We're in number 1 for Vancouver to reestablish a 4-goal lead.
Wow, that is so hard to do. They keep hitting that back corner. And just a little toe touch. That is really impressive, especially with the pressure on coming out of a timeout to just hit right on a dime in the back corner. Vancouver is just cruising right now.
Not much margin for error. And even in the NFL, that's a catch.
Yeah, and if you're San Jose, that's what you want them to throw. You're baiting that throw. But unfortunately, they're hitting it.
And, you know, you and I both know there are days you run into an opponent where
17
everything is
points for
working for
Vancouver.
them no matter what you try.
Yeah, it's really true. It's kind of like the Miami Heat a couple nights ago, or was that last night?
Yeah, that's why, you know, in a tournament setting, you get to play so many games a day. You're not going to face 5 teams that are clicking on all cylinders 100%. This is the biggest weekend of the season, though, for Vancouver. Nearly a layout D underneath, but Josh Tan couldn't pull the trigger. That just a little too far ahead.
Wow, what an exciting sequence. 3 straight full extension bids on the disc. And looks like maybe a call here. Looks like he might have gotten roughed up a little. That's why he was off balance. So he will get the disc. And guess who's wide open on the open side in the end zone? It's Bo Kittredge.
So that brings the Spiders within 3, just over 5 minutes to go in the third quarter.
On the score for San Jose,
Kittredge is
number 12,
impossible to
Stephen
guard in
Chang,
these
to number
situations.
50, Bo Kittredge.
Yeah, it looked like the defender was just out of position. Got to know better than to leave the under open on the open side. I'm not sure what was going on there. Maybe he thought it was a zone. But Kittredge more than willing to accept another goal. And by the way, if you want to keep track of stats for your favorite AUDL team, ultianalytics.com has a pretty good stats package showing throws and catches, plus minus, favorite targets, catching percentage, catch percentage. Pretty incredible.
There's a lot of layman stats, and there's also stats that I think you need an advanced degree to understand. The graphic that you guys used at the start of the game on Saturday night in Madison, it was over my head.
That's right. We needed about a 20-minute PowerPoint presentation to get you through that slide. But
that's what you do.
That's what we do.
Lee shoots one deep. Kittredge gets in the way of the deep shot. And perhaps that will start to swing the momentum San Jose's way.
That was vintage Bo Kittredge. The disc is sailing over his head, and he simply runs as fast as the disc. Most of us have to find a way to play an angle or something. He literally just like a dog runs after the disc, tongue wagging, and gets the D.
Gilligan lets it fly, underthrew it, and it's defended well.
Not sure what happened there on that flick. Looked like it just got away from Gilly. San Jose definitely playing with more fire. They want to take some shots. They absolutely are not looking to give up any more goals. And we've got a player down on the field.
It was Ryan's son who had the D, and this is, I believe, Will Vu, who's leading Vancouver in goals coming into today.
Yeah, I think he's going to be all right here. Looks like just a calf cramp. On these hot, we're getting into the summer months here in Silicon Valley, on these hot days when the sun's streaming down throughout the day, and maybe you're riding a roller coaster or something, easy to get dehydrated.
That was Darren Wu, excuse me.
And a careless drop there. So Vancouver coughs it up here. Maybe they're starting to feel the pressure, the enormity of pulling the upset here.
Joy to the back of the end zone. Matthew Natali.
Natali just hiding in the shadows in the back of the end zone there. I don't think anybody knew he was there.
Ashley Joy, great vision to find him. Turnover on the swing. And when you give it to San Jose right on the goal line, this usually happens. So the Spiders within 2, 3:45 to go here in the third quarter.
Yeah, the gamble paid off there for San Jose. They're really pressuring the reset, making that lateral dump pass difficult. The risk of doing that is that if they get it up line and throw a scuba over the top, well, then you're right back where you're used to being, which is chasing a guy who's about to catch a huck on the break side.
One thing to note, Chuck, Darren Wu, Vancouver's leading scorer, still on the sidelines getting stretched, so he's not on the field for this O-point.
Darren Wu is 18.
18 years old. He's a freshman in college, running track and field for UBC.
I think he's going to be fine.
Nearly a D from Kioi.
And Kioi bids again. Hammer over the top to the end zone is going to work. So Kioi bringing his A game, but it's not enough for this Vancouver offense.
Wow. Kioi throwing his body everywhere. But in the end zone, it's Einar Lim who comes down with a disc for Vancouver.
I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just a Santa Barbara thing. But these guys' bids, Silverman and Kioi have some of the craziest looking bids that I've seen in the league. You can see him just throwing his body around. And this field is not that soft. It's not cement. But you hit that a few times and you're going to have some turf burns on your hip bone. You're going to have some scuffed knees. You're probably going to have rubber pellets in your shorts.
Ashlyn Joy triggers the offense. Marcelo Sanchez his first cut. And now Bacon wide open. Miscommunication by the Vancouver defense to let Tyler Bacon have that much open green. Low throw scooped by Sanchez. Looking deep. And it's Simon Higgins. Interesting adjustment here. Bo Kittredge is not playing O points. He's playing D points.
Yeah, maybe it's for the better. They sure need a spark. And you know, one thing that Bo's really good at is baiting to get Ds. He's one of those guys that his first 3 steps, you know, a lot of people talk about his speed, but if you pay attention, his top speed probably isn't better than a lot of the other elite guys. You see this deep shot to Higgins that works. But what's really separates him, in my opinion, is his first 3 steps. He accelerates to full speed so much quicker than the rest of us. And that really pays dividends on defense.
Usually when you say the rest of us, referring to all of humanity, it's a bit of an overgeneralization, but I think in Bo's case it's fair, because we are all unable to do that.
Yeah, I've had a lot of really fast backhand hucks run onto by Bo when he was standing 5 yards in front of me. The guy's speed doesn't make sense.
Kittredge trying to shut down Fenton downfield. Pick was called on the cut from Edward Guo. So back to Lee, the handler, and he'll lose some yardage. Here's a deep shot, and it's defended. Sort of a desperation, deep look there.
Right, Chris Thomason gets the reset there.
Somehow Zaccaro keeps it alive. Low backhand into the hands of Cox. Kevin Cox. Now Eli Kearns.
Crowd wanted to throw to Bo. He ends up getting it anyway.
Kittredge swings for Zaccaro, 10 yards out. Kittredge again serving as the point man, the center handler.
It's a good spot for him because if he throws and sprints up line, he will be open. Here he goes.
Laying out of the mark. Kittredge gets it anyway. Scuba over the top. And now Eli Kearns needs just a couple more yards, and Kittredge hits Kearns. San Jose grinds out that point, closing in a minute to go in the third.
Nice red zone offense from San Jose. And you see there the definition of Scuba. So Scuba a little bit like a hammer, except you throw it just kind of a flick off the left shoulder. So you grip it like a forehand, turn the disc upside down, and you release it from the left shoulder forward. It's just a nice little way to get around the mark. Go over the top. Go. Some guys just reach over your shoulder and release it behind your head even. And here's Bo doing what he does so well, just throwing and then sprinting up line. There's nobody in the sport who can really stop him, even with a poached defender getting a good jump on it. Still makes the catch, and here's that scuba we talked about. So it's just a little flick of the wrist.
A throw that's become so prevalent in the elite game to get over the top of the defense. Generally a little bit safer than a hammer.
Yeah, there's less of a mechanical element to it, and the wind can't bother it quite as much since it's such a compact motion.
Well, it's as close as it's been in a while. 17-14 at the half. Right now, 6-4 San Jose in the third. And a traveling violation called here on Vancouver. Clock continues to tick. Under 50 seconds in the half. This is the time where if you're San Jose, you don't want to give Vancouver another chance. You want to score here, but you have some time to dilly-dally near the end zone. Kittredge going backwards for Joy. Cross field for Nathan White. 25 seconds. San Jose trying to even things up as we head toward the fourth.
Nice handler motion from San Jose. A lot of this is coming off the front from the backfield. Real short give and goes.
Ashland Joy with 7 seconds. Reverses for Gilligan. 5 seconds to the end zone. Incomplete. And that is how the third quarter will end.
Wow, what an end. Incredible bid. Really nice break around out to space for Gilligan. Just a little too much on it.
San Jose milked the clock down. And Gilligan looking for Zaccaro.
That's a real nice bid. Everything he could do to get his hand on that disc. When you're catching that trailing edge disc and it's a backhand, so it's spinning out of his hand, really hard to close on this one.
So at the end of 3 quarters, the visitors from Vancouver lead the San Jose Spiders by 1.
I missed my graduation to practice. I sleep so we could drill. I missed anniversary, Father's Day, Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, Saturday. I missed my final exam. I missed some coin play. I even missed my parents' anniversary. I missed a lot.
Minute of highlights. 12 minutes of ultimate to go, and Bo Kittredge trying to stay loose, trying to stay fresh, and trying to stay motivated as his team trails by 1, trying to avoid the upset. Let's take a look at some of the third quarter highlights. San Jose won this third quarter but could not score in the final moment. They won the quarter by turning up the defense, and it started with Ashland Joy.
It did. That was right at the beginning, and it was right when they needed it. Ashland Joy comes to play,
And now the Slice of New York
gets the
Pizza
break,
Challenge.
punches it
The
in. But look at
contestants
Fang,
must toss the disc to their partner
just like he was
with
doing in the
as much
first
spin
half.
as
Nothing
possible.
bothering him,
Their partner
totally
must catch the
concentrating on the
pizza their
disc,
finger
making his
and keep it
plays.
spinning as long as they can.
Just all business
Last
for
pizza
Derek Fenton
spinning
tonight.
is the winner.
You know, Vancouver has laid out basically from the start to the finish here. No signs of weariness from the Riptide.
No, although, you know, we see Wu with a little cramp in his calf muscle. These guys might be wearing out, and that's kind of the book on the younger players. They don't have the same level of muscle mass. The conditioning's just not quite the same. They're always tend to be fresh, and they tend to be able to make it through the game, but they lose a little bit as you wear on in the game. And the older guys tend to have better endurance and less explosion, so that might start to serve San Jose here a little bit as we move into the later rounds here. Nice adjustment there.
Well, here's the big storylines as we turn toward home for the fourth quarter. Final play of the third, San Jose could tie it up, and they're receiving to start the fourth, so they would have had a chance to take the lead. Now they're looking to tie it here. San Jose is staring a 2-game losing streak in the face with another matchup against a San Francisco team whom they just lost to coming up next Saturday night on ESPN3. Then you have Vancouver, a win today, and they're tied with San Jose in the standings And yes, Vancouver has a tough game and a tough turnaround tomorrow against San Fran at 1 o'clock. But the pendulum's going to swing one of those two ways here, and it's going to be a tremendous win for either one of these teams and a substantial loss for whichever one can't get it done.
You're right. If Vancouver comes down here and wins even one of these two games this weekend, they're just going to be one of those teams that's going to have to be. Yeah, they're going to be in the conversation for potential champions.
Got another reply on Twitter from Bryant Winters. He said the Spiders just seemed too exhausted to bring this one back. We saw a little bit of energy from them at the end of third, but hopefully they found some 5-hour energy. I mean, I thought you maybe bought all of the 5-hour energy in the Bay Area, but maybe you left some for them.
Well, I could probably spare a little bit. I am a majority shareholder, 5-hour energy. But turns out it's not that healthy for you. It's just vitamin B12. Upline there from Ashlyn Joy. And may have been a travel, not sure. I didn't see what that call was. I thought it might have been a travel on Bo, but that would have been a turnover.
Maybe a pick on the offense?
That could be.
30 seconds gone here in the fourth quarter. Kittredge to Sanchez. Shoots one deep. Simon Higgins the target. Gottlieb swats it away for Vancouver.
No question about that one. Gottlieb had great position, read it all the way, and gets up early. Not even close. Higgins, I don't know if Higgins is just having an off day, or maybe he's just met his match here with some of these Vancouver deeps.
One of the things you said right at the top, even though these teams have played before, there's not a great familiarity between them. Big backhand deep shot, floating for a while, and into the hands of Jasper Liu. One more throw, in and out of the Vancouver target's grasp.
Wow. That would have been the play of the year. That somehow belly flopped and flipped over to catch.
That was Graham Landon who had it and lost it after Jasper Liu came out of the pile with a disc somehow. Kittredge for Sanchez.
How good has Sanchez been tonight? He's just always open, always doing the right thing.
And now Joy taking a deep shot for Higgins again. This one is easy. And a slam dunk for Simon Higgins.
Yeah, Higgins needed that one. He's been getting beat up a little bit tonight. He's been losing some of the discs he's used to winning. And you know what you got to do if you're losing those high ones, those 50-50 ones, is just outwork your defender, and that's what Higgins does on this play.
Here's the sequence. Graham Landon, he had it, and he lost it.
Oh, wow. Had to go over the shoulder there. Wrist injury to make what would have been an incredible catch. Can't quite pull in, though. And now let's watch. Sanchez gets it up line to Ashlyn Joy. Great pressure on D, but Ashlyn Joy catches it and then delivers just a sniper accurate shot to Higgins, who seems to have just worn out his defender there.
We're tied at 21. I think the last time we were tied was 3-3.
You might be right about that. And Gottlieb's down, Fenton is downfield working. He's got some space. Let's see if he gets it.
Bo Kittredge might have been trying to bait him for the deep shot.
Oh, for sure.
Good news for Vancouver. Darren Wu is back on the field, number 11 in white, looking to grab the stunner from Derek Fenton, and Wu cannot come down with it.
Wow, nice D there. Really kept the pressure on. I like the choice by Fenton. It's been working. He's got that one kind of cocked and loaded, ready to roll. But it did not work this time.
The first time since the first quarter that San Jose's had the disc with a chance to take a lead.
Yeah, now let's see if they've got the lungs to do it. Wow, what a windup and a shot to the end zone.
Just out of the reach of Eli Kearns. You could see that deep cut brewing.
That was very exciting, the windup and delivery of that disc. I'd like to see that about 100 times over. Here we see the tail end. Kearns not able to close. It's sort of trailing to the left there by the end, but what in the world happened at the beginning of that play?
Oh, in the passing lane was Brett Peterson. And to the end zone to give the Spiders the lead, Tim Gilligan hauls in the go-ahead score for San Jose.
You can see now what the next level looks like for the Spiders. In the first half, they looked tired, they looked lethargic. I think they were a little bit entitled, thought they deserved to win this game. The second half, you start to see why these guys are champions, why they're some of the best players in the game. It's because when the chips are down, they're going to make plays, and you can see Gilligan just hungry to catch a goal, and he gets it.
The Spiders by 1. Vancouver just has not recaptured the offensive flow that made them such a dynamo through the first 3 quarters. San Jose has turned up the handler defense. They've turned up the pressure on the cutters downfield as well. Here's the pull from Boscher. And a monster pull to the front goal line. 80 yards on that pull from Boscher.
He's got some incredible range.
Lee, the center handler.
Wow, great bid on the underneath from Silverman.
And that throw is high and leads to a turnover. White intercepts. But there was a foul. Foul on the mark called on Silverman.
Yeah, let's see if we can get another look at that. I did not see if maybe he touched him on the release. That certainly was an uncharacteristically inaccurate throw.
Max Hunter gets it up to William Vu.
Wow, tricky reset there from Vu.
A lot of pressure on the handlers. A little slip through to Kevin Lohr. Looking for Vu in the end zone, and he's got him to tie it up.
Such a great throw. Those outside in forehands, keeping them low and tight, plenty of pace. And as soon as you see the back of the head of the defender, the throw goes up. So hard to defend.
30 points today. You can bring your ticket stub tonight or tomorrow.
Tough reset, but finally an opening. And he had all day to set that one up right in balance and rhythm.
Yeah, and a lot of coaches, a lot of guys teaching clinics will teach you to throw it out to space. But don't be so sure. Watch how little air there is on this. He keeps it with some angle on it so that it comes up and goes down. Gives number 14 no chance at all to make a play on that. Chris Thompson's not really out of position there. He's underneath on the open side. That's where you're supposed to be. But the throw's perfect.
Joy to Kittredge.
Sanchez working so well downfield in the lane right now.
And Marcelo Sanchez possesses, flicks forward. Roeder looking deep for Higgins. And Higgins defended. Vancouver with a big man deep. That was Gottlieb in the end zone, knocking it away for the Riptide.
Yeah, not sure why that throw went up. Gottlieb's been beating him all day. He continues to do so.
Inbounds, just barely. Great catch by Ted Chu. And his throw defended by Sanchez, who, as you said, has been everywhere.
The guy's just doing all the right things. I mean, in that position, if that throw gets past his hand, there's no help, and he knows it, so he just goes for it.
And Joy's deep shot looking for Kittredge, rejected by Mads Gottlieb, who looks like Dikembe Mutombo swatting that away.
He did. It was tit for tat. Sanchez does it. Gottlieb says, if you can do it, I can do it better.
Timeout, 6 minutes and change left. Tied at 22. You see the D from Sanchez. And then the D from Gottlieb, who poked the lane perfectly. We step aside, all square here in San Jose in the fourth.
Based here in Silicon Valley and is back.
Yeah, it's a zip car. I don't own it, I just use it when I need it. Zipcar has thousands of cars parked all over the city, even 2 on my block. You can use one for an hour or for a day. And Zipcar pays for gas and insurance. It's easy.
Go to zipcar.com to get your zip card, the key to vehicles parked in your neighborhood and across the globe. For work or play, find a zip car near you, book it,
And before you know it, you're on the road.
cars by the hour or day, gas and insurance included.
Join for as little as $6 per month at zipcar.com.
Well, I'm not sure you can overstate the importance of this point. Tied at 22. Vancouver has the disc. There's been a bunch of back and forth, and this would be a break to retake the lead if Vancouver could score.
Huge point. Gottlieb getting out there, getting the D, showing some swagger. You know Vancouver wants to score this. And I think this is a really exciting game for Vancouver Ultimate in general. Like these are not the old guard. This is not the Furious George guys that we're used to seeing playing on the World's teams. These are young, up-and-coming studs out here just making plays, beating up on some of the best players we've ever seen.
When you think of Vancouver Ultimate over the past 15, 20 years, you think of Furious George, and they went on a run of winning 3 out of 4 titles or USAU. It was just a juggernaut. It was Furious and Sockeye back and forth, Seattle and Vancouver. The Bay Area has sort of taken over in the club scene with Revolver now winning 3 out of 4. But look out for Furious George down the road with some of these youth players coming up.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to have to game plan for guys like Derek Fenton. What do you do?
Ryan Lee has not been the flashiest handler, but he's been very solid back there.
Yeah, it just makes these breaks look so easy. So nice pressure right now from San Jose. They're not letting anybody really get space from the downfield group. The resets are there, though, and the hammer over the top from Lee. And that'll work. Big bid off the backside, but Lee drops it in for a goal.
Perfectly placed. Fenton hauls it in for Vancouver.
Chiropractic for being a team chiropractor.
There were 2 targets in the area.
It's worth mentioning, too, that when you're guarding a lefty, as much as that seems like it shouldn't be an issue, people are just used to marking more right-handed players. Most players are right-handed. They're used to the angle of hammers that are thrown by a right-hander. So people end up having slightly worse reads, slightly poor position on the mark. You tend to catch people a little bit off guard, and Vancouver is pretty lefty-heavy right now. They've got several guys who are left-handed who are breaking marks. And that can be a little bit of a head game if you're on the other side.
Max Hunter pulls it about 70. Fielded by Chang, centers to Joy. And off to Kittredge. High release, flick to Higgins. To Sanchez deep. Marcelo Sanchez. To the end zone for Bacon. Sensational flow from the Spiders.
Yeah, I like that look from Higgins. Saw Sanchez going deep. Sanchez is just on fire right now, and he's making all these plays just look so easy. Michael Keough throwing some discs into the crowd, getting this hometown crowd fired up. Really exciting to see such a great fan base here in San Jose. Even Derek Fenton was just kind of blown away by what a cool group of people have shown up tonight to watch the game. Let's take a look at this goal, though. High release flick by Bo. Why not?
You taught him that, right?
Sure. And Higgins rips a forehand to Sanchez, gives him the advantage, but pretty tightly defended. Sanchez just gets his shoulder on the inside, extends out, and then makes a nice little high release flick of his own for the goal.
Marcelo Sanchez making a name for himself tonight. The LPC alum.
Las Positas College has produced a lot of great players over the year. Kind of a small school, certainly not a school that most of us have heard of if we don't play Ultimate, but they produce talent somehow.
Vu, another lefty. Marked by Joy, and back to Lee.
Nice pressure on the resets by San Jose.
And the Spiders have done a nice job, not necessarily with a double team, but having the offside handler defender poach off into the lane to create downfield disruption. And a foot block cancels the swing attempt. Under 5 minutes to go, and San Jose looks to break. Joy picks up.
Wow.
Bullet break for Natali. And now swinging for Gilligan. Joy to Kittredge. Middle of the field, it's White. To Bow. On the night where his bobblehead debuts here at Foothill College, he throws it away. Knocked away and defended by William Vu.
And Bow baiting the deep shot. It goes up. Bow is closing.
Darren Wu against Bow, and Kittredge rises above once again.
Now that's the Bow we all know and love. That guy closes so easily, gets up early, and just roofs his receiver.
That might have been Darren Wu's welcome to the AUDL moment.
You said it.
Because when that disc was released, he had about 5 or 6 steps on Kittredge, the all-world sensation. Such a huge point here with under 4 minutes left. Deep shot for Natali. 5 yards out. Lavis dropped off, and Natali takes a timeout. With 3:25 left in the fourth. Tied at 23 here in San Jose. The Spiders knocking on the door again. It was Vu who defended. Quick dump off to Fenton, and the deep shot to the guy they count on, Darren Wu. And this is vintage Kittredge.
Just gets in there, mixes it up, gets his shoulders on the inside. Watch him close here. Those of us who have watched Bo play before know that before that disc went up, all Bo was thinking about was throw it.
Kittredge and San Jose, 5 yards from the end zone, try to take the lead here in the fourth.
I missed my graduation to practice. I sleep so we could drill. I missed anniversary and Father's Day, Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, Saturday. I missed my final exam. I missed some plane flight. I even missed my parents' anniversary. I missed a lot.
All San Jose's disc. This has been so much fun. I think we're going to come back here next week. What do you say, Chuck?
I'm
Spiders, FlameThrowers next Saturday night.
Yeah, sounds good. And look at that, immediate break. So you see how they stacked everybody in the back of the end zone, put Bo off the front, just gave him the whole space to work with. When you got Ashland holding the disc and Bo on the front of the stack, you better design a zone or you're going to get that.
So we'll see what the D-line looks like here for the Spiders after they retake the lead. Kittredge, who's played a lot of D here in the second half, appears to be coming off the field. This is a silly question. Is there anything you can do to stop that as a defender?
Well, you can't play man-to-man. You can see that they were starting to do the right thing. They had a help defender coming off the dump, but then the mark also took away the backhand. So they had two guys taking away the backhand, nobody taking away the IO. You either have to double team or you have to play a junk in the front of the end zone. They did neither.
Left to right, Gilligan, White, Keoy on the D-line here for San Jose. Chris Thompson really hustling down in the pull as well for the Spiders. Huge point for Vancouver if San Jose were to break. A 2-score deficit with less than 3 minutes to go would be tough to overcome. Fenton swings for Vu.
If you're Vancouver, you need guys like Fenton to step up right now. You need those veteran leaders, those guys that are playmakers to come out and make plays.
Ryan Lee up the sideline to Tam. Swings it past Thompson into the hands of Vu. 2:30 left in the fourth quarter.
Crowd calling for the hammer, and it goes up.
Nadon connects with Fenton. Into traffic, it works out, and Vancouver ties it once again.
Right on cue, your MVP of the game, Derek Fenton, goes up in a crowd and makes the catch. This is not much of a throw, but with Derek Fenton catching, that'll work. That's just too good.
Well, this has been a treat from start to finish. Just a great game of ultimate.
Yeah, what a fun game tonight. Vancouver really showing some championship colors here tonight. And they've got a chance to pull up an upset that absolutely nobody gave them a chance to do this weekend. They're playing like they mean it.
Joy to Kittredge. Closing in on 2 minutes to go in a tie game. Chang endures the body contact and hits Higgins. Joy was the dump. He couldn't get the swing to Kittredge, has to dump it to him. And now Bo up line. This is where he does his work. San Jose calmly taking care of business here in no particular hurry.
That's right. Bo's got to be careful to keep his defender from poaching the lane here. You can see Gottlieb sagging out.
On the brink. Aha over to Chang. To the end zone. Simon Higgins hauls it in. And just like that, the Spiders regain the lead. Well, if you were wondering, would the Spiders have enough energy late in the game when it was tight, the answer is yes.
Yeah, they've definitely rallied. In particular, Higgins, he's a guy who, like we said, was just having an off night, kind of getting beat up in the air. Started using his legs and not depending on those jump balls that he's so good at. And he notches another goal.
Stephen Chang delighting the fans with a free disc. So $1:25 left. You're Vancouver right here. Are you thinking at all about the clock?
I think you have to. It's not at the point where you need to rush your offense. But we saw Chicago just wind down the clock for a win last weekend, and they took a solid 90 seconds. If Vancouver turns the disc here, which they almost do there at a heck of a layout.
Levis keeps the Riptide alive.
If Vancouver turns the disc, San Jose could just wind the clock down, so you really don't want to turn it here.
Underneath the cut by Guo. Now it's Fenton. Swings it back for Lee. Under a minute to go in a one-point game. What a showcase this has been for the American Ultimate Disc League. Levis, the player coach, resets for Lee. 30 seconds to go to the end zone. They got it. We're tied at 25 with 25 seconds left.
And this crowd is stunned right now. I think they were hoping to just come out here, have a fun win over a beatable team, an allegedly beatable team. Vancouver just will not go away.
That was the play of the point by Levis, but aside from that layout, this was just pure, calm, great offense from Vancouver.
Yeah, they're just not flustered. They're not intimidated. This is a risky throw, but well played by the receiver. Out to space, nothing you can do. If you're Gilligan, if you're Tim Gilligan, they're number 99, you're scratching your head like, what more could I do? I'm in the perfect position. I'm ready. The disc goes up, and it's just too good.
Vancouver's got height that will likely be ready for a Hail Mary in the end zone here. Overtime would beckon if this game ends regulation all square.
Wow, great defense on the reset.
Down to 15 seconds. San Jose keeps it alive. You want to give yourself a shot at the end zone. Stephen Chang to Kittredge. Ashland Joy will take his shot. Looking for the walk-off win. With 1 second left, Tyler Bacon hauls in the go-ahead score for San Jose. The Spiders could not have timed it any better. Sanchez kept the point alive, and in this cross-field reset here, Higgins hits Joy with the momentum, and right on target.
Wow.
Now with 1 second left, Vancouver basically can catch the disc and let it fly. The time won't start until the disc is picked up. But if you're Vancouver, you basically need to have your guys sprinting deep so they can get to the end zone. It's a short pull. And this is good if it goes, but it's going to fall short, and San Jose wins. Defended by Simon Higgins, and on Bo bobblehead night here at Foothill College, the Spiders survive 26-25. What a great game here in the AUDL. Will Vu let it fly. San Jose somehow escapes another instant classic on ESPN3. The Spiders improve to 7-1. The Riptide falls to 5-3, and well, if you're Vancouver, you need to recover from this game really fast, because the Riptide has its next game in about 15 and a half hours against the other Bay Area Dynamo, the San Francisco FlameThrowers.
And Mark Perkins for making this game possible. I'm your PA announcer, Peter Kuchenberg.
That game is not going to be covered by ESPN, but I'm looking forward to attending that game and just seeing what Vancouver has left tomorrow. Local enough that I'll head to Galileo Academy Field in downtown San Fran tomorrow. Just a great sporting event here tonight as the Spiders win it by 1. If you're trying to pick out an MVP for San Jose, obviously Ashland Joy and Bo Kittredge get a lot of hype and a lot of pub. Marcelo Sanchez made so many plays offensively and defensively and just kept running.
With 6 goals, 5 assists, and 4.
We'll take a quick 60-second break, and we'll come back with a post-game conversation. Chuck heading down to the field here at Foothill Stadium, where the Spiders remain perfect at home, barely. 26-25, San Jose prevails. We're back with more in just a moment.
7 p.m. when your Spiders take on.
Yeah, it's a zip car. I don't own it, I just use it when I need it. Zipcar has thousands of cars parked all over the city, even 2 on my block. You can use one for an hour or for a day. And Zipcar pays for gas and insurance. It's easy.
Go to zipcar.com to get your zip card, the key to vehicles parked in your neighborhood and across the globe. For work or play, find a zip car near you, book it.
And before you know it, you're on the road.
Cars by the hour or day. Gas and insurance included.
Join for as little as $6 per month at zipcar.com.
He's coming down the ice. He's coming around the net. Centering pass. Oh, look at this. A break for Canada. He shoots. He scores. Canada wins in overtime. Canada back on top of the world.
26-25, San Jose prevails over Vancouver. Chuck Kindred down on the field with Bo Kittredge.
I'm down here with Bo Kittredge, star of the San Jose Spiders. Bo, a gritty come-from-behind performance. How did you guys pull it out in the second half?
I think we eventually realized that if we didn't start playing better, we were probably going to lose. And luckily, we decided to play just this much better than we played in the first half, which was just enough to win.
Were you guys tired? There was some speculation you might have been tired from tryouts today. I know it was a hot day in the Valley. Was that at all in play here tonight?
I think a lot of people like to use excuses, but we're not one of those teams. We just come out and we play 110% of the time, and it might have had something to do with it.
It might have had something to do with it. Yeah, that's fair. What was it like for you to see some of these new up-and-coming Vancouver studs in the air? These guys played really well up high.
I was actually didn't know that they could do that. I was kind of surprised how many times they skied us. I think probably like 80 to 85% of the time, which is not a good stat if you're on my team. So I think we're going to go to the gym and we're going to do like Air Alert 3 and Jump Souls Part 4, and then we're going to come back and hopefully not get skied 80% of the time.
Sounds fair. Did you get a chance to see the bobblehead dolls? I assume you did.
I did. I wish they wouldn't have made them quite so white. I think I'm a little bit more tan than they made them out to be, but that's fine. Next bobblehead will be prettier.
Do you have an MVP from San Jose for tonight?
Sanchez.
Sanchez.
He was balling, and he has those pretty cleats that aren't the same. So that's a good look.
That's key. Any standouts tonight? Any MVPs from the Vancouver side?
I don't know. There's that one guy. Well, there's like pretty much whoever they were throwing it to seemed to catch the disc. So I don't know. I honestly don't know who they were, but they were phenomenal in the air. So congrats on that.
Absolutely, and congrats to you guys. Good luck on the rest of your season, and we'll hope to see you back here soon.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chuck. Thanks, Bo. What a ball game tonight here in San Jose. 26-25. The Spiders prevail, and you can be the judge for yourself. Here's the Bo bobblehead. Is it appropriately white or there it is. It's a nice thing though. Bo is a San Jose on the disc. Bo Kittredge, San Jose Spiders number 50. It's good to be a season ticket holder here at Foothill College Stadium. Truly an instant classic tonight, and it means so much that you spend some of the night with us here from the Bay Area in California. This one was so great. We're going to come back here next week and see the Spiders try to hold serve again against the lone team in the league they lost to, the FlameThrowers. That was 2 weeks ago. We're back here next Saturday night, 7 o'clock local time, 10 Eastern, for the Spiders and the FlameThrowers Part 3. But for now, we say so long from Los Altos Hills, California. For our entire Fulcrum Media Group team, for Chuck Kindred, I'm Evan Lepler saying good night. We leave with the best highlights of the game. The Spiders take down the Vancouver Riptide 26-25. But I think the story of the night is Vancouver earns a lot of respect around the league. Again, 26-25, the final. We'll talk to you next Saturday night from right here in Los Altos Hills. This has been the AUDL Showcase Game of the Week on ESPN3. Good night, everybody.